Hey you folks, Quilliteen here, and welcome to another episode of our Let's Play of European Universalis 4 as Sweden. We are up to date with the Art of War expansion, and yeah, we have broken free of the shackles of the Kalmar Union with Denmark. We took a chunk out of Norway. We do have a mission to subjugate Norway, but we're going to have to wait until our truce expires. I guess that may have been an incentive if I knew the mission was coming, that I could have maybe taken less than a peace deal with them, and then... Which one is Norway? And then I would have had a shorter truce. There's 8 years left to that truce, which isn't bad. And then slightly more to our truce with Denmark, because A, we pieced out later, and B, I think we took more in the war deal, so we get a longer truce. So what we're going to do now is try to let a bit of our manpower go back up. Norway's pretty isolated. They have an alliance with Tyrone, but who cares? Their truce with, or their alliance with Denmark was broken, so they may or may not be able to recreate it. They're currently in a war with Scotland. Over the Orkneys, and hopefully that's all Scotland takes. On the other hand, it'd be really interesting if we could have vassalized Norway with the Orkneys still there, taken advantage of the land connection, and started an invasion of the British Isles that way. Of course, there will still be a core here. There will still be a Norwegian core on Orkney. So once we have them vassalized, we can now press our vassals' claims and such in war. That's very interesting, assuming it survives England. Meanwhile, we're also upsetting Muscovy. I have sent my rivals to Denmark, Norway, and Muscovy. I cannot currently embargo them because we have a truce with everyone. Truce all things. The Teutonic Order is now getting its butt kicked by Poland. So, yeah, as expected. Very, very standard sort of development there. Now, what's this flag over here? Is that always like that? What is this? Why is there a flag? Air. Same dynasty, Lithuania. Huh. Oh, is it because it's an elective monarchy, maybe? Could have something to do with that. I have no idea. If we royal marry Poland... Okay, let's improve relations with Poland. That might turn out to be a pretty handy buddy. We might be able to have alliances against various Germanic states, actually. We used to be allied with the Teutons, but we're not anymore. We do have some political unrest still. Norwegian patriots will potentially rebel in 1.6 years. I would not like to do that. I don't have enough points to harsh treatment. Maybe I should have stayed with the military focus, actually. Ooh, I may have made a slight miscalculation here. So, it's Norwegian patriots. Although, there's not going to be that much. We could increase the local autonomy in these two places here. Wow, it's 14% even with the core. We could increase local autonomy, which would drop unrest by 10%, decreasing the chance that they'd rebel. I should actually also stand some troops in here, because that'll reduce the rebellion risk. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It will give me fewer taxes and manpower, but it's only 2 provinces. No, I want to increase autonomy. And this will put me potentially in a better position to war if I don't have to worry about as many rebels. So the chance is going down. So now it's only 10.6% chance of increasing it by 5% each month. So it have to happen 6 times. So it figures the next revolt will be in about 4.8 years. I'm going to move my troops in there, which will further decrease the chance. And also nationalism is appearing to decay over time. So the unrest chance will go down over time. We'll be okay. We might actually go ahead and invest to go up to +2 stability, which would further help. War exhaustion is bleeding off by itself. That's something else that's assisting. Right now, the national unrest is above 0. It's because we have very poor legitimacy. You know what? I think it'd be a great investment to boost ourselves up to the next stability level. Just overall, I think it's going to improve things dramatically. Now, if we check, it'll be 10 years maybe for Norwegian rebels, 35 years for Lollards, 8.4 for Swedish peasants, and 9.3 for Danish patriots. Oh, and this is an event. This has nothing to do with the unrest system. We just got an event that triggered and gave us some rebels. I actually could have moved my troops there ahead of time. Let's go ahead and put my king in charge of squashing that, and then we'll have them go back over here. We should be perfectly fine, though. Everything's okay. We still have all these barks over here. Wait. Oh, these are my new barks, which I never deployed to protect trade. Hold on. And there's my other light ships. Let's have them merge up in the North Baltic Sea. And right now, how's our trade power? We have 26% of the trade power in the Baltic Sea, and we're making 3.17 in trade. And if we protect the trade, We lost that battle? Seriously? Then we get an extra buck. We lost that battle? Oh, crap. That always happens. No army maintenance. I'll also take this opportunity to rebuild some of my actual troops here. We need at least a couple more units of cavalry, which are pretty potent early on. And let's rebuild a little bit of infantry as well. I could use the army builder, but that'll be fine. Maintenance! Curse you! There should almost maybe be a pop-up if you've got rebels and you're... You get a pop-up if you go to war with low maintenance. If you have rebels, you should maybe get a pop-up to be like, hey, by the way, if you're planning on going to squash these rebels, you might want to improve your maintenance a bit. Just saying. Just saying. So we got about 7 more years before we can go back against Norway. I try to not go totally crazy here. My goal here is not to take over the entire world of Sweden. My goal is to try to experience new content in Art of War. And I'm going to try to avoid endless coalition wars and things like that. With the interest of being able to play a little bit higher speed, for example. So, alright. We should be able to crush these rebels perfectly fine. They're not going to finish their siege, which is good. And again, this is just an event-spawned one. It has nothing to do with the unrest system, which is excellent and interesting. So there's still some random rebellions that can happen, but just having a little bit of revolt risk somewhere does not result in completely random rebellions. You can always see it coming. Let's go and squash that, and then move over there. Actually, we'll move to the coast because we'll have a higher supply limit on the coast. We don't have to worry about being attrition, especially in the winter. Right now, we might be okay, but in the winter, we'd lose it. We're going to take care of that. Boop. There we go. Excellent. So the unrest, and if we actually check a look at our risks here. Norwegian Patriots still going up. But overall, we'll be okay. All right. Austria declared war against Ulm. Poor little Ulm right over here. Oh, it actually took a second province here. That's part of it. Is France still fighting Burgundy? It is. It's currently winning. It's got 1 province. And it'll probably be able to win that war. Who else is in that war? Burgundy, Switzerland, Aachen, Castile. Really? I wonder if Castile can reach. Peasants' War in Aragon. So they may have been fighting some people and ran out of manpower. Yeah, truce with Castile and Navarra. Interesting. I wonder, I need to make sure, okay, special interest. Special interest, oh, probably because they're, they are rivals is probably automatically flagged. And what about Novgorod? Yes, good. Recall diplomat with England. So, England. No, even maxed out. The Regency Council right now, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe they'll flip from neutral to something else at some point. We're going to flag you as a special interest country. Good. So, we could also try sucking up to Lithuania. Seems like a good idea. Poland. No alliance, no royal marriage. Let's try Lithuania. Right now, they don't have their like special union or anything like that. We'll see what happens later on. We'll suck up to both of them. They can be very, very useful allies. I think those are the sort of power blocks you're gonna go. Also, they should hate Muscovy. Hungary, Golden Horde, Muscovy. Yeah. So we've got like, you know, mutual rivals. Enemy of enemy. Very good. A little bit of aggressive expansion. It's bleeding off quickly. It'll be gone in 7 years. By the time we go to our war against Norway, a lot of this will have been bled off. Pomerania. Okay, that's fine. About something like Burgundy, irrelevant. France, irrelevant. Austria, irrelevant. Good, 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 good. So yeah, we'll be pretty free to war there. I don't think I need to rush out anything else. I mean, I could always turn on Novgorod. I'm their only ally. We don't have a royal marriage because we can't royal marry them. That would be pretty dirty. I'm talking about using them as a shield against Russia. But you know it's also a shield against Russia? Being a badass. Well, we don't have any manpower, so right now we're not going to do that. We're going to let our manpower recharge a bit more. Be nice to get back up to my force limit, actually. We don't need to rush up to that, because your force limit does increase your costs. Right now, I'd want to be able to replenish my army. Yeah, alright, let's go up to speed 4. 5 might be a little bit crazy, but speed 4. Let things go. Be nice to get a bit more trade power. What kind of buildings can we build right now? We can build armories, which are pretty goddamn good. I think just in case, I want to keep my military power in case we need to harsh treatment. I think we're going to be fine. These Swedish peasants might actually rise up. Småland. Loan is coming due. You know what? Let's repay a loan right now before we accidentally spend our money. Repaying a loan early doesn't actually help. Doesn't save you any money. It just makes it so you don't forget and overspend. So you over here, why so much unrest? Because autonomy was decreased over here. Oh yes, that's right. I remember doing that. That's fine. Well, it is 30 years of that, so that's pretty harsh. But I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not going to war against Novgorod because I know I want to take Norway. Oh, are you out of your war? No, you're still in it. Now, Scotland, I don't think can really do much to Norway, but they do have a ticking war goal in their favor. Into the Peasants' War. Oh, and guys, remind me in case there's rebellions again, but I'm going to drop my army maintenance one more time. I could... Oh, can I mothball this fleet? How do I do that? How do we... Mothball. Yes, here we go. We're going to save ourselves a little bit more money by mothballing this fleet. So yeah, it will take damage each month. It won't die. We'll never go to 0 all the way. But it'll act as if the maintenance slider was 0 for this fleet by itself. So my actual, my trade fleet will still get full maintenance. But other than that, we'll save a couple of bucks here and there. We'll have to make sure to unmothball them before the war starts. I think our truce ends, is it in 1460? The one with Norway? Yes. So we're going to have to make sure to unmothball them in time. 10 diplomatic power is not that much. I mean, I'm not convinced that the trade power is that critical for us right now, but I'll take that. We are actually pulling a lot of trade out of Novgorod. And there's something to be said. I could run a lot of ships in the Novgorod trade node as well to suck more out over here, but I think it's more important for us to try to gain a majority share of the Baltic trade node. We'll recall our diplomat with Poland. Any chance Poland is interested in anything? Yes. No oh, because I just sent one. Yeah, an alliance here would be very useful. Novgorod broke their alliance with us. Oh. Well then. That's very interesting. Hostile attitude. Why? You probably desire provinces. Indeed. Listen, Poland. Oh, we don't have a positive opinion of them? Seriously? You should improve relations with me, buddy. Lithuania. We're going to start with the alliance. We'll get the royal marriage right after. How come we don't like Poland? Because they just finished their war. God damn! If we had done this before they took all the territory from the Teutonic Order, we would like them. Alright, royal marriage with Lithuania. Now, just out of curiosity. Novgorod. Lithuania would jump in. We don't currently have a CB. I would like Neva. Let's go ahead and work on that and see what we can do. We've still got 5 years. We don't have any manpower, admittedly. But Novgorod has no allies. I don't want to declare a no CB war. Move our troops over here. A no CB war would be bad. But other than that, so we do have some money. I could even go to a level 2 dude somewhere. So what ideas are we going to take? I already said I don't want to do any colonial stuff as Sweden. Just because we've done too much of it in the other previous games, and I'd like to focus on more contiguous block, easier to follow. So not expansion, not exploration. Humanist is always quite cool. I mean, more unity is going to be helpful later when there starts to be the Protestant and Reform movement. Less unrest is actually going to be incredibly powerful for us, the tolerance as well. But mostly you take it because that negative 10 years of nationalism is insanely good. Cheaper ideas isn't bad. I don't know if we go with this first, though. We might start with a military one. There's, of course, good stuff. The 15% bonus to morale is incredibly good because you do not only have more morale hit points, but you do more morale damage. On the other hand, offensive is always nice because you get +1 leader shock and fire. So any of your armies that have a leader, effectively, your leader is slightly better than it appears. Quality ideas always have tons of cool stuff. Quantity is really good for a lot more manpower, which affects the more manpower you have, the faster it recharges as well, because the manpower limit, it always takes 10 years as a base to get there. So if you have twice as much manpower, you're also getting twice as much manpower every year, which is pretty potent. So a lot of good ones. Definitely military ones look pretty good. Of course, if you do take military ideas, that means you're not getting your military tech up as quickly. On the other hand, the more ideas you have, the cheaper the tech becomes. Something like influence ideas might actually be really useful for us. We may have some vassals. Vassals are a lot stronger than they used to be because they can fabricate claims and we can get more income from them. Diplomat annexation cost may or may not be good. Well, it's fine. Less aggressive expansion is pretty handy. More diplomatic reputation. So there's some pretty good stuff. The unjustified demands is actually kind of handy because we can ask for more stuff in peace deals. We're still sucking up to Lithuania. Well, we're already good friends with Lithuania. Let's stop that. Let's free up a diplomat. I guess there's not really we can do with Poland. We could ask them for military access, which would make us like them 10 more, but that's not going to be enough. We need positive both ways before we can before we can alliance with them. So it is a darn shame that they're not our rivals, because it would be nice to earn some power projection from beating up on Novgorod, but I think we're just going to have to take it. So after all the help we did, alliance offer from the Teutonic Order. It's not going to help our situation with Poland. And if Poland leads any sort of organization with Lithuania... No, the Teutonic Order, you're too weak. If I'm going to do anything, it might be Pomerania. Now, they don't like me. But we could alleviate that immediately with royal marriage. What's my... I'm only at 2 of 4. Pomerania. I don't think that Poland needs any more of your stuff. You actually don't even have any rivals or alliances that are problematic. Pomerania. You and I are going to be best friends. And yeah, quick alliance from Pomerania. Excellent. Wonderful. So we're just going to have to wait till we finish fabricating this claim over here. So let's go and unmothball this fleet. Get it to start repairing. Denmark enforces the sound tool. Danish devils. Despite their control of the sound, which is right over here, already giving them powerful position in Baltic trade, the Danes appear to have let their greed get the better of them. We've been informed that the sound toll, which our nation has been exempt from since the days of the Comor Union, is now enforced for Swedish ships as well. This is already looking up to be a significant annoyance, and some advisors even suggesting plans for going to war over the Great Belt. I guess so. So we get 10% less trade power in Lubeck for 10 years, but we get a trade war CB on Denmark. Of course, we still have a truce with Denmark, so we can't... Yeah, -5 stability from breaking a truce, so we can't do that yet. Interesting that that's our only war goal available in Denmark. I'll probably fabricate a claim over there. I'm going to leave my diplomat free for now, because as soon as this claim is fabricated, I don't even want to wait for him to come home. I want to instantly declare. Let's go and get our army maintenance up. Almost forgot. Lost trade war. Okay, that's fine. A little bit of provincial unrest. Do we need to harsh treatment anything? We are 4.2 years away from the Swedish peasants being a problem. 9.3 years Danish patriots. Overall, that's not too bad. Death of a merchant. We can get money, or we can unlock an extra dude. No, just give us the money. That's going to be fine. You have rebels. Interesting. Still needs manpower. Still, probably make... Oh, I could get some mercs right before the war. That probably makes sense. Because I'm not at my force limit. But I also don't have manpower. Okay, let's go ahead and hire the mercs then. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That'll put us right up to our force limit. Yeah, if only there were a rival, we'd get some power projection. But this will be okay. Shouldn't upset too many people. If Lithuania joins in the war with me, they won't mind the aggressive expansion. So we should be okay. It might upset the Livonians, but I suspect there'll be some conflict between Lithuania and the Livonians at some point, possibly. Maybe not. Or maybe Pomerania and the Livonians. That's a possibility. Get everyone to the front. Oh, and the war goal is just done. So let's drop down to speed 2. Declare war. Neva. Lithuania will jump in. No one else will, but that's going to be perfectly fine. And what we can do is we can jump on their troops in here. do this. Let's have everyone else just group up here instead. Where's my war fleet? It's here. It's not completely repaired, but we could still go and do a full blockade over here. We've got an advantage and a leader, so we should be fine. We'll get the blockade going, which will help our siege. So we're going to jump in here. We're going to wait until the battle with the rebels is over, and then just pounce on them and finish them off. It's dirty, 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 dirty. And I don't care. Just waiting. And we'll have you guys jump in as well. And we might just be able to stack wipe them. They're going to have no morale to start off with. And are they technically the attackers? They're getting the terrain penalty? Oh, this is the dirtiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, stack wiped. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh. All right, let's go and siege. Go and kill. Actually, drop a siege. Now move. It's the summer. What a perfect time to attack. They have some heavies there. I have a semi... Well, that's my trade fleet. If they engage, I can move in with my trade fleet as well. You know what? Never mind. I want to park everyone here. Let's be safe. Let's not lose any random ships for any stupid reason. Let's take the damaged fleet. This one here is not fully repaired. We'll have them dock in an island. And then if the battle is engaged, we'll just jump right in. And we'll be all right. Yeah. Repair first. Good. Oh, hold on. Park. They're moving to Viborg on the 17th. I will arrive in Neva on the 2nd, which is not soon enough. So I'll let them engage. I'm just going to wait. On the 16th, I will actually move this army into Viborg. There we go, like that. These just have to survive long enough. They should. They have a much lower base morale. Much, much lower. Oh my god, how come they have a 2.6 base morale? We're going to, like, slaughter them as is without reinforcements. Like, literally, I don't think the rest of the troops are going to get there in time. They are, but it's not going to make a difference. Either way, we're not going to stack wipe them. Let's move up into Neva, and yeah, we'll start leaving some sieges behind. We are in the Western tech group, and I don't think... yeah, Novgorod is Eastern, just like Muscovy is Eastern. So their teching is going to be slower than ours. Their units will peak at different times. I think their units will peak a little bit sooner than ours. But eventually we'll get a tech advantage over, say, Muscovy. Which is going to be a problem at first, but then later on won't be. They will be big. Especially if they form Russia. They got some crazy stuff going on. I think we can just start the blanket siege. Hey, new papal controller. Haven't really done anything with papal influence, and that's fine. So I would like to get Ingermanland as well as Neva, just because it'll give me the ability to connect down here and start doing some awesome stuff. At that, let's go ahead and go after these guys who have no morale. Siege in the capital, of course, will give us slightly more war score than other things. Because they should have a... I don't know, maybe not. Defender controls the capital. Maybe it's less of a thing. Maybe it's just the attacker. I don't remember. I mean, usually the capital has a higher base tax, so you should get ticking thing. But every now and again, even when the war goal is not to take the capital, it does seem like there's an advantage to taking the capital in a war. I will not go and spend my Diplo points. Oh, we've got a rebel uprising very, very soon. The Swedish peasants are very close. The harsh treatment should be really cheap on this, though, because there's only one province. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's fort level 2, fort level 2. Okay, that's a shame. If there were one, it'd be a lot faster. And to detach a siege, send one guy down there, send these two guys over to Ingermanland. Actually, I can split this group and do that. I don't know how quickly mercs reinforce. They don't come out of your manpower pool, so maybe I will send the whole group over here. Make sure I start the siege, because this is definitely one of the things I want to take in the war. Not an official war goal, but certainly an unofficial one. Now, owning Novgorod will definitely put me in conflict with Muscovy. Absolutely positively. But A, I can't take it because it's their capital. So it's much, much harder to take. And I don't have to take it. And I won't. I'll take more of the northern stuff. So I'm not technically going to interfere with Muscovy's ability to form Russia, for example. I was going to say something else. Well, I'm not sure. It'll probably have to wait until the next part. This is a good war of opportunity. It's going to give us some very, very, very valuable territory. Oh, one of the things I haven't checked to see is what kind of cultures we got going on right now. Yeah, I should convert to Sami. It's only 25 points to get that started in Lapland. Let's definitely go and do that. Because A, by not having the right culture, we get fewer taxes. You can see here, non-accepted culture, 33% fewer taxes. And not production, really, but manpower, certainly. And also, it doesn't help the unrest situation at all. So we'll go ahead and convert that over. If we do check the cultural map mode before we end this episode, there's a handful of Sami, but this is never going to be enough, I think, to become an accepted culture, and certainly not a primary culture. Or what are the terms? Like accepted and tolerated? Accept. It's like different words. It's like it'll go to yellow. Is that what Finnish is right now? I guess that's probably it. No, Finnish is actually green. It's an accepted culture. There's a yellow mode, which is like the in-between. And I usually... Converting the red is probably worth it, especially early on. Yeah, you can spend a lot of Diplo points, but that's a lot of extra tax and manpower over the course of the entire game to convert over those reds. But keep in mind, if you do take more of that stuff into your territory, and there's enough tax base as a percentage of your total tax base, they can eventually become accepted. And if you do go humanist in your ideas, which is... Ideas, over here. If you go humanism, it is one of the very earliest ideas. Oh, right here. Accepted cultural threshold, negative 50%. So you only need half as much tax base to make something into accepted culture. And that can really help your domination a lot. But I think the Sami would never be relevant enough. So there we go. Anyway, I will see you guys next time.